Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I want to start out with this. This is sent by Gorilla Airsoft. This video is kind of sponsored by Gorilla Airsoft, but not really. I'm kind of like doing a collab, slash working with them, like helping them develop stuff for the mTW. The guy who runs Gorilla is a very nice person, and he sends me a bunch of stuff, beta, alpha, early versions before it's even ready to be released, so I can test it and absolutely destroy it. And if it's shit, I tell him, and he's like, we will fix it. They fix it right away, send me a new thing, and we see if it works better. So it's a really nice company to work with. So I would really suggest you support them if you want a new trigger board, or if you want a new trigger, if you want anything to do with mTW. They're really good and they have some really cool shit. Anyways, now that is out of the way, I also want to plug myself real quick. I have a support link in the description where you can support the channel. It's really expensive to do all this content. It's really expensive to get all of these things for the content. So if you want to support the channel with $1, $10, whatever you want to support the channel with, everything would be appreciated. Anyways, now all of that ass licking out of the way. This is gonna be a very, very advanced guide. This is a advanced guide for advanced users. You're gonna learn how to remove a trigger board. You're gonna learn how to install a trigger, install a new trigger board. This is a magnetic trigger board with a magnetic trigger. So if you are not very good at taking things apart and you don't know how to follow every single step in this video exactly to teeth, do not do it, because you will break your mTW's trigger board that is already in it, and you will probably also break the new Gorilla trigger board, and Gorilla will not cover it if you're the one who's breaking it properly. So if you're gonna change all of these things that I'm showing you now in this video, pretty please follow all the steps 100%. I will teach you through how to change it, how to do it, and how to set it up with the app, because this is not just installing it and it works. You have to set it up with the app. It is a advanced guide. Anyways, it's going to be a long guide how to do everything, so please lean back, enjoy, and follow it step by step if you're going to do it too. Anyways, remember to like, leave a comment, subscribe, and you better buckle in, because this is gonna be very deep and in depth. So that's what she said. Yikes. Okay, first let's talk about what I got from Gorilla Airsoft. Gorilla Airsoft is so nice. They send me all this cool stuff I can test all the time. Well, they sent me a custom trigger. Obviously when you get it, you're gonna get it with Gorilla branding, but hey, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, so Gorilla sent me a custom trigger, and it has a bunch of things, and you're like, what the heck? What are all these things? Well, there's a spring for the trigger, one that goes here, so it's gonna be pushed to the side. There is trigger springs of how hard you want it to be to push. There's O-rings, which is gonna be for how you're gonna keep the pins inside of the gun. This is for the selector switch. I have already installed one, so I'm not gonna show you how to install this, but it's very easy. You unscrew this screw. When this is unscrewed, you click it down over, boom, press it in and tighten it up. This is for the trigger, but it should come already installed. This is for if you wanna, you see here's the magnetic one. This is for the one where you have a trigger switch. You know, the old mTW have a trigger switch. Trigger switch, if you listen here. Trigger switch. The new trigger is magnetic because I have the Gorilla magnetic, I don't know what they call it. Anyways, let's install it. Let me show you guys how to do it, how to do everything, how to do it correctly, or maybe wrong, who knows. I can teach you bad things and good things, who knows? Well, here we have my mTW. This is my mTW Forge Tactical, which is pretty cool. I like it. It's a very good gun. It's very nice, but as you can see, I've taken it apart. I already have the mMTW, and we will install it again so you guys can see, because we also need a different trigger in it. Anyways, first to get all of this out, it's kind of easy. You take this wire to the side. There's a little spring down here. It's hard to see. There's a spring down here. You want to untighten. Boom. Now that's untightened. Now we can start removing everything in the trigger board and the mTW, the lower body. First, you want to unscrew this trigger. Let's unscrew the trigger first. You want to be kind of careful when you do these things so you don't break the current trigger board. Yours is going to look a little bit different than mine because I already have the mMTW MFCU installed. We will take out the trigger pins. Now when it's all loosened up, press down the board so the trigger pins are easy to remove. Now we can take everything out slowly without breaking anything. So in the old days when we were testing you, we were using a different trigger board and a different trigger, and we would use the max trigger and then fasten this on top with a little magnet. But Gorilla was like, nah, we can do it better. So we will make our own trigger with a magnet on it already. So that's even better and more efficient. It works better. It's easier to use. Yeah, it's just better overall. Now we're not going to be using this spring. This spring usually keeps in the pins. It sits here in front, keeps in the pins. But now we're going to be using these O-rings instead. I'm learning this by doing too, by the way, guys. This is the new trigger board. This has the FCU installed, like it's in, the FCU is in this. I don't know how it works, but that's how it works. It has the empty mag detection, has everything. It's the trigger board, it's kind of fancy, it looks cool, it's easy. You saw how I removed it, how easy it was? Yeah, well, let's install the new trigger. The easiest way and the best way to install a trigger on all the new generations of the mTW, it comes with a crevice. I guess you could say a cutout here. In the old mTWs, it was just a hole and it was super difficult to install. You had to put it in, then the pin and the trigger at the same time. It was a mess, but now you can just put it down. Like now you can just imagine this. You just put it down like this, boom, then it's in. So obviously we're gonna take the trigger first. And if you want to, you can put a little bit of glue here. A little bit of glue. I have already installed this trigger so it fits. But if you want, you can put a little bit of glue here when you use a spring. I am a fan of a spring that has a little bit of feeling to it. So I'm gonna take a thick spring. A thick spring here. This is the front spring. You see here? Front spring. Now we take this trigger, we're gonna install it. We have the spring in front, we have the spring here. And we're gonna take a spring on the side. We're gonna take one of these things here. So the best way to install the trigger is holding it down, the mTW, putting it down like this, holding it down. The best way to hold down the trigger is like this. Now it's in already. We're gonna squeeze it in. Now we can use the thing. This is actually a very hard trigger. I actually kind of like it. This is a very tough spring. But now we can obviously tighten the thing on top. We're not gonna do that yet. We're gonna make sure everything works. Now we have the trigger installed. Now we need a trigger board. We will take the trigger board here. So you remember there's an empty mag detection, you don't want to snap those off. So when we're going to install it, we're going to hold this down, this here, so we don't break anything. Because we will break it if we just squeeze it down over it. So let's take the... Oh yeah, so as you guys can see, I already have the magnet installed here. There's the magnet installed right here in the back. It's very hard to see in the mTW. We already have the magnet installed. That chooses when I can shoot, because obviously it's gonna go around. with the selector switch. So that's what we're gonna need to set up later in the app. Anyways, I always put the gun on semi when I install it. It fits better. Now let's squish this in. We're gonna want a O-ring on both sides of this, which is like, I don't really like the way to install this. The more I think about it, the more I don't like the way you have to do it like that with a spring. But I guess it's the way to do it. So now you can see it can just fall out, obviously, because it's not tightened. So we're gonna need to put O-rings in it. We're gonna need 2 O-rings, one on the board that goes up towards the board and one that is towards the end. I'm trying here. I think I have a way of maybe doing it. Now I will see here 1 second. We're gonna learn this together, everyone. Hold it down so you don't crack anything. I'm trying to figure the best way. If I take the O-rings while it's inside the gun like this. If I take 2 O-rings and put on now. You know, the guy who made Gorilla is probably gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing, Casper? You fucking retard! Yeah, this seems oddly annoying. He's probably like, I told you how to do it, man! I'm like, yes, but I suffer from not being attacked. I cannot get my fat fingers down here. Now we have 1 O-ring on it. Okay. Fair enough. Now we can get another O-ring on it also, I guess. If I don't drop it. There we go. We have both O-rings on. Blood, sweat, and tears. Now let's get the trigger board in. Let's get the trigger board in without breaking anything. Let's get the O-rings out without breaking anything. Okay, the O-ring is through. One O-ring is at one side. Now we're gonna put another O-ring at the other side. Now there's an O-ring on each side. This thing is not moving at all. The thing in the trigger can still be removed. I haven't tightened that, but I'm gonna wait to see if we can make it work. While I'm gonna be working on this mTW, I'm gonna be making sure the battery goes outside it, like this. This is much easier. So I can put a battery in and out when I'm gonna modify the Gorilla app. But now it's installed, actually. It feels really good. You don't have a tactical feedback. You can squeeze a little bit when it's closed. When it's like unsafe, you're like, why? Well, it's because the gun, the upper is not on. When the upper is not on, you can still squeeze a little bit. Anyways, let's install the upper. Now the upper is installed. You have a different trigger feel. This is how much pull I have. Unsafe, it doesn't move. It moves tiny bit, but I can adjust that better. Shoots on all the things. This is a very hard trigger. On my other one, it's a very loose trigger. But this is a SPR where I shoot really freaking hard. This mTW, so I don't want to accidentally like click the trigger. Okay, let's put in the battery. A lot of you now are gonna be like, oh, does it shoot instantly? No, it actually doesn't. I don't think so, at least. Let's see. Oh no, my Solenoid doesn't say a sound. Well, we're gonna have to use this app, the Gorilla app. Let's find it. Gorilla app here, Gorilla FCO. This is one of the best apps probably made on the market. Like it's absolutely fucking amazing. Let's connect it to the mTW. You can use it on Android, you can use it on Apple, it doesn't matter. That's my Gorilla FCO. Connecting. Now we are connected. Now it already remembers all my old stuff. Well, we're gonna have to set triggers. Set trigger is because it is magnetic. Huh? Magnetic. So let's set trigger. Let's see here. Warning, before put the gun on safe position before proceeding. Please pull the trigger and keep pulled with the position you want the gun to fire. When ready, push the save button. So pull your trigger and keep pulled. Warning, put the gun in safe position before proceeding. Please pull the trigger and keep pulled with the position you want the gun to fire. Okay, so I guess we put it in semi. And then we click. Save. Boom. Impossible to save trigger fire position. Okay, we do like this then. Save trigger. On save. There we go. Trigger fire position saved successfully. Set auto. Oh. Oh. Imagine this. The mMTW already works. Well, it already knows all my settings. Well, when you set your trigger on save, as you saw, set, boom, clicked, then hold in, then save, then next one, then next one, and next one. And when you've done all this, you can write your settings. Oh yeah, this is my settings for my mMTW. This is for my my DMR, SPR, puppet dwell 180, puppet delay 10, puppet dwell 180 on auto, puppet delay 30. I don't use full auto, but it's nice to have if someone is cheating. So we gotta show them who's the boss. Then yeah, that's literally it. I've only shot 6,643 BBs with this one. My other mTW with the Gorilla board has shot around 5-6 million. So this one is brand new. I haven't shared this in any videos yet because I actually don't want to show you guys, because it's kind of overpowered and I don't want people to start using this kind of setup. But hey. Anyways, now when we've done all this, you click right. Settings written. Now it works. We disconnect the battery. It works! Well, that was so easy to install. Anyways, I might cut in some cuts where you can see it very close, up close, maybe not. But we will see. Anyways, Gorilla trigger and trigger board, how to remove and install. It's the same with all trigger boards, it doesn't matter what, except that this trigger board has this. This should be able to just be squeezed down over, like this, facing. This flat version should face the wall. Other than that, it's super easy to set up. Just follow the guide. Don't be rough with anything. Do all the safety things with holding in the what is this? MT Mac detection or whatever the fuck it's called. I'm not a real gun guy. I don't care. Do this so you don't break anything. Anyways, be safe, and I hope this video helped you guys. Anyways, I hope the guide was good. I hope it makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to ask on my Discord. Gorilla Airsoft on the Instagram sends you guys to me when there's something to do with mTW, because I'm very willing to help and they're very busy developing products. So I'm very willing to help you guys. Go on my Discord, ask in the YouTube comments. That also helps my algorithm, and maybe I can just get a little bit more views. So that'll make me a little bit more happy. Anyways, thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and maybe if you want to, donate in the link in the link below. Anyways, I love you all, and peace.